Episode number 128. Hello, you're listening to the Career Changemaker podcast. Having the courage to leave a career that you have worked hard to build and try something else can be tough. So in each episode, we dive into key career change strategies so that you have a clear understanding of what is required to transition into a new role or a new industry without feeling like you have to start at the bottom or have to take a massive pay cut, because ain't nobody got time for that. If you are ready for frank and honest discussions about how to become a career change maker, keep listening. I'm your host, lawyer turned career strategist and executive coach, Janine Esbrand. Are you eager to get unstuck and figure out what you would actually like to do with your career next? Have you been going around in circles trying to figure it out but getting no further forward? If so, you're going to love today's sponsor, my signature group program, the Career Clarity Academy. Changing career direction can feel overwhelming and daunting, but it doesn't have to be. In my signature program, we give you clear, step-by-step, proven processes for getting completely clear on what it is that you want to do and understanding how you can leverage your existing experience and position yourself to attract and land a dream role. To find out more, head over to lightboxcoaching.com/academy. So I am so excited to be interviewing Jen today. She is one of the Career Clarity Academy alumni, and she has just been on an incredible journey over the last few months. So I want to dive in, Jen, and I want to ask you some questions about where you come from and where you are now. So let's start with you just giving a bit of background around where you were before we met and how you were feeling, what was going on for you, and kind of why you ended up reaching out to join the program.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a solicitor, so I work within sort of real estate, commercial property, in a pretty big commercial firm within sort of the UK, Manchester. And over the last, I'd say, 18 months, I've probably felt quite just frustrated, not satisfied, not quite sure why though, but just having this feeling like this is not what I want to do anymore, but not really knowing how to kind of change that. And I think I've probably been moaning at my husband quite a lot, and he was like, well, do something. I'm like, well, I don't know what to do. And Janine sort of popped up on my LinkedIn through, I think it was a friend sharing it, and I sort of was like, oh, this looks interesting. Did a bit more digging, and it just sounded like a really good way of trying to sort of get some clarity on what I want to do.
Yeah, awesome. I was so excited when you joined, because especially when you said, I've been having this conversation with my husband and he's told me I should go and figure it out because I've had this conversation.
He was literally like, do it.
So once you kind of came into the program, talk to me a bit about how you felt once we were going through the initial modules and exercises to kind of dig into why you were feeling the way that you were feeling.
Because that was really interesting, because I think at the start I was just like, I want to leave law. I don't know why. I just want to, and it was really interesting the way the modules were structured. Just it really actually gets you to dig into your values and why, and it's sort of why are you unsatisfied. Really digging into that, and then sort of the core values and the personality that you have, and why that might be making you, or me in this instance, feel unsatisfied with the work that you're doing. And I think it was done on a very staggered approach, and it's sort of built on each module. So it didn't feel overwhelming. It was just sort of, and it really actually gained some clarity on why I was feeling frustrated, because the values and the work I was doing at my current firm weren't necessarily aligning with my personal values and how my approach to life, and realizing that the two are so interlinked, the sort of home and work, and that actually there was just a mismatch there, and that's why I was feeling so sort of unsatisfied.
Yeah, I love that misalignment piece. And I think a lot of people can miss that, particularly, I work with a lot of women who are driven and focused and set the goal, I'm going to be a lawyer, I'm going to be an accountant, I'm going to be, at the top level of my career. And you start on the journey and you're just going and going and going and don't necessarily take stock. And I know that you're a mum of like 2 young children. And when you have like big major life events, sometimes that can shift what's important to you, right?
No, absolutely. I think, and I say, the last 18 months, and actually my youngest is 2. And I think it's probably during that second mat leave, especially, and just going back into work and feeling like if I'm going to be leaving, my babies with somebody else, at least I want to be doing something that I'm really passionate about, that I really feel that is, putting something back in the world. And I just felt that the work I was doing, or my current firm just wasn't really giving me that. So I was looking for something new.
Yeah. And going through this process, I want to commend you and everyone who kind of comes through the program, because it isn't easy. Like, the easiest thing to do is just stay doing what you're doing. Even though it's frustrating, it's the easiest thing to do because it's familiar. But going through this process, it is a bit of a roller coaster ride, right? Like, you're like, I'm making progress. Oh, no, I don't feel like I'm making progress. Oh, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And I knew there was some moments in the program where it was a bit like that, right? So can you talk to us a bit about how you were feeling, where, you're feeling like you're getting some clarity and then you kind of not, and then you are?
Yeah, and actually, there's something that you give to us at the start, which is almost like a contract to ourselves to keep going, and there's gonna be some tips. And I put that on my wall, and it's literally still behind my computer now, Janine. It's a kind of when I was making approaches to find out about other fields and other sectors, and sometimes, especially if it's a cold call, you're not getting a response back, and that makes you feel a bit wobbly, because you're like, oh well, I'm putting everything into this and they're not replying. And I think something you said to me, it's like, it's not personal, they're probably just very busy, but actually, taking stock and speaking to you and the rest of the group, and actually realizing we're all going through the same, and we just have to kind of dig deep and just try again. And actually, by doing that and committing to the process, that good things can happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And how did you find being in a group environment? Because I know for some people it is a bit nerve-wracking, right? Like, you're joining a group of people that you don't know, and you're actually getting quite vulnerable. Like, we're opening up on our group coaching calls, we're talking about how we're feeling, we're talking about our lives. How did you find that dynamic of being in a group with women from different parts of the world?
Yeah, it was really international, our group. I loved it. I really liked it. I think it was that sense of, I'm not in this on my own. I'm not the only one feeling like this. And as you said, and people in completely different sectors all over the world, and just really lovely, like-minded people. I found that they were great. And, we've all now linked up on LinkedIn, and I really want to follow their journeys, because you get committed to them, because they end up more like friends than, and I think it's really interesting, because you see as well the different directions and different priorities that the people have in their careers, but a lot of the concerns and issues are the same.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love that kind of just seeing each other's journey and then being able to encourage one another. I remember when it got to our last call, and you joined it like a few minutes after everybody else, and they were like, "Where's Jen? We want to get I want to know how things are going." It's just so nice to see everyone being so supportive. So let's talk a little bit about what kind of happened for you in a short space of time, right? From like the beginning of the program to the end of the program. Talk about like how you identified the role that you went for, and then what happened after that.
So yeah, it was a really short sense of time, because I think at one point I was like, oh, Janine, I think I might need to, sort of have everything. And then actually it was like, oh, well, this opportunity is actually, it was flagged initially by a recruiter, I think, but it was like, and there's a lot of just law firm offers. I just kind of go, no, it's not law, it's not for me. And actually they mentioned a firm that I'd known of kind of on the periphery, but I hadn't really known enough about them or done enough digging to kind of think, would that be a good fit? And actually this program had kind of enabled me to see beyond maybe just, okay, it's a law firm, and think, okay, what are their values? What kind of work are they doing? Do I think I'd actually enjoy that? And one of the things I was, so I want to do something that has purpose, I'm going to leave law, I'm going to join, I don't know, a not-for-profit, no idea how I was going to do that. And actually something you said, Janine, of, you don't have to necessarily be working for a not-for-profit or, a charity to actually have purpose in the work you're doing. It can be the type of work that your company are doing, or the type of initiatives, you get involved in, or what have you. And it's that, not necessarily direct connection, but that indirect or just sort of that link. And what I found with this opportunity was it was a firm who did a lot of work for social housing and, charities and registered providers, where that was something that through this process I realised I want to do something with a sense of, social justice, or, actually helping people. And if that meant that my work in law could actually sort of link to that and help not-profit companies or profit for purpose companies, then that's something that I was really quite interested in, as it meant not completely putting aside all my legal training, but linking the two together. So I was really excited by it. So I wanted to find out more, but the opportunity that was on the table was actually at the same level that I'm at now. And I kind of thought, if I'm going to make this big move, and it was a big move, that I needed probably to make that progression. And I'm not the type of person to go, I want, lots more. But I sort of, I think just going through the process and understanding my strengths and what I can bring, I sort of said, well, no, I'm really interested. It seems to really align, but I'd be looking for this next step up. And they said, oh, well, I thought they'd just say, no, go away. And they said, well, we might need to have a look and restructure a few things, but we'd like to talk to you. And I had the interview and I got the job.
You know what? I'm just so excited for so many reasons, Jen. Partly because you did that reflection piece of like, not just higher level, like, oh, I just want to do something else, but actually drilling down and recognizing that it's not actually like the specific task that I do on the day-to-day that I don't like. I actually quite like that. I just feel like there's no overall purpose to that. So then being able to identify that I don't need to like throw away everything I've done in my career so far. I get to leverage that and then move into something else, and then not just settle for, okay, the role's advertised as this level, but say, hold on, I know I can do more. And because I've spent the time to really unpack how awesome I am, I'm able to like, put that forward, because I know that we don't like to toot our own horns. We don't like to, we're all very modest, but being able to recognize it's not just, okay, I'm brilliant, but it's about the work that you can do and the value that you can add. And you doing that and putting yourself forward and in the interview, it was just, to me, it was just amazing. Not because I didn't think you'd be able to do it, but because we had a call and it was like, okay, how's everyone doing? And you were kind of like, oh, I've got a little update. And the update was like, oh, I found the role, I applied for the role, I hadn't. I was like,
and it happened so quickly. It was like, oh.
I was like, Jen, that's not a little update. And then a couple of days later, you sent me a message to say, I got the job. And I was just so happy for you, because it's just brilliant to know that, you're moving into something that like is aligned to the kind of impact you want to make, and then what you're able to do and use. So it's absolutely brilliant. So how are you feeling now?
Excited, a bit nervous as well, because it is that step up. So, and I know we talked about this in sort of our graduation call, and just I think ready though, ready to make the move, and just excited to take that new opportunity and see how I can grow into the role. And it's exciting.
It's so good. So in terms of your experience within the program, what would you say was the most beneficial for you, having gone through the process? What did you find that was most supportive, or what did you enjoy the most about being in this kind of like group environment and coaching experience?
I think it was the group calls and the group sort of environment that I think really, it pushed you to kind of, it was that competitiveness as well of sort of, and have we done all of it? Okay, but also just, it was so supportive. And I think that, especially in the world of COVID, and it was just so nice to actually talk to a group of people who are going through the same thing at the same time, and just really encourage each other and have your support through that. And if you were feeling a bit that day, you just sort of listen to what other people are going through, and actually you'd find little nuggets of what they were saying so applicable to what you're going through as well. And I always came out of those calls feeling so excited, inspired, and and some of the extra people that you had come on and do some speaking was really great and really inspirational. And I'd sort of go downstairs afterwards and be like, oh my God, this amazing person, because we had a mindset coach who was at the perfect point of when you're just having that wobble, and she was like, embrace the fear, push past the fear. And
Yeah, and the thing is, because I've run the program so many times now, I see the patterns in terms of, like, I know when they're going to have a wobble. So that's why I was like, Karen, I need you to come in on this week, because this is when everyone's going to be a bit like, oh, I can't do this. And yeah, it's just so good to see like everybody coming together in the group and being supportive and just being able to see each other's journeys, and recognizing that you're not alone in this. Yeah. And I love what you said about the whole COVID thing. Like right now, for a lot of people, it's like, what is going on in the world? And you can feel like that means you have to put your individual goals and hopes on hold. But actually, you can still focus on them, and just having the right environment and the right support to say, okay, I know everything's crazy, but while I'm on this call and while I'm going through this program, I'm focused on like, what do I need to be doing for me and my environment, my family and my goals, is super, super powerful. And that's why I absolutely love it. So good.
I think, it was just something really quite nice and positive to focus on. So with all the craziness going on outside, and I know sort of you were saying, like, even if it's not an immediate kind of, job at the end of it, it's you have the skills and the knowledge about yourself to be able to leverage that whenever the time may be. Sort of if a job opportunity were to come up in 6 months, 12 months, you'd be ahead of the people who haven't even started thinking about it yet.
Yeah, absolutely. And the landscape is changing. So being able to be adaptable and recognizing, what do I have to bring to the marketplace? What are the skills that I have? And what can I leverage as things change? You want to be able to adapt to that. So I'm like beyond excited that everyone kind of has the tools to know that, one, I know how to figure out what I even want. And then two, I know how to sell myself for that particular opportunity. So if someone's listening to this and they are like, feeling how you felt at the beginning, like frustrated, confused, unsure, what would you say to them?
I'd say, what have you got to lose? It's such a lovely sort of positive environment, of course, to be on. And for me, it was also just a sense of clarity. And I think I couldn't have gone on just feeling the way I was feeling. I remember thinking, I can't be doing this for the next 30, 40 years. So something had to change. And that was actually probably for me more of a mindset thing and understanding myself a bit better. So I think if you're feeling that way, just go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And in terms of the type of person that you think would benefit most from the program, like if you think about you think about the other ladies who were in there, would you say like there's a particular type of person that would benefit the most?
I don't know. I think everyone could benefit from it, to be honest. I think everyone, could benefit from a bit of introspection as to their own values and beliefs, and sort of just, a better understanding of what drives you. So I think we're all on the group, we're all quite different really, but we've all got that sort of sense of we want to do something more. And so I think it could benefit anyone, to be honest.
Yeah, I love that, because it's interesting, because everybody is saying, I know I could be doing more. I want to be doing more. I want to be helping people. I want to make an impact. If I was to say like the consistent thread between the clients that I work with, the dissatisfaction comes from knowing that there's more impact that you could be making and you could be feeling more fulfilled in the work that you do. And it is so interesting that we had a lawyer, we had someone who was in sales, we had a healthcare practitioner, we had another lawyer, like we had someone in finance, we had different people, but even across those industries, those same feelings were coming up. And so we know that there's lots of people out there that feel that way, but you're like a great example of, if you do the work, and you take action and you put yourself out there and step outside of your comfort zone, because you absolutely did that, you can do it. You can make a transition into something that you're excited about. So good. I'm so excited for you. So in terms of what's next for you, so you're literally going to be moving into your next role in the next few months, right?
Yeah. So probably around Easter time. So just a few months to kind of get prepared. And I was hoping that we might be able to get back into the office, but who knows? But even so, this platform is obviously great for getting to know people. It's just a different way of the world's working right now. So it's exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well,
and Jen, I'll be keeping you updated.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep me updated. I just want to say thank you. It's been an honour to work with you over the last few months. It's been so good having you in the programme. Like, your positive energy is just always amazing. And I just want to wish you the best of luck and just say well done for investing in yourself and making a decision to do things differently so that you could get different results. So,
thank you, Janine. Honestly, thank you. That's all I can say. And I know my husband would like to say that too as well, because I'm a bit less miserable now.
Tell him I said my pleasure. Well, have a good afternoon, and thank you for spending the time with me today.
Oh, thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Career Changemaker podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to let me know what your biggest takeaway has been. So head over to Instagram, tag me at Career Changemaker, and let me know your thoughts. What did you like most about today's episode? I look forward to hearing from you. Until next time, keep working towards your career goals, and we will speak very, very soon.